Hello everyone, welcome to FedScoop TV. I'm your host, Greg Otto. You're watching our Digital Transformation Heroes series, and I'm talking with Beth Beck, Open Innovation Manager for NASA. Beth, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, and I'm glad to be called a hero. This is awesome.
Let's talk about what you concentrate on with NASA, data. How is your agency planning for the onslaught of data that comes NASA's way? What about the tools that are coming into NASA, the data analytics tools, data visualization? Talk to me a little bit about what you're seeing.
All right, so NASA is a data agency. That's what we do. I mean, all of our missions go up into the heavens and around the Earth, and we create data. And so it's this wonderful opportunity and challenge. One of the things that we have noticed is that we, at NASA, we do all of our mission planning, and we talk about the spacecraft, the propulsion, the environmental life cycle system. These are all those things that we plan. And we plan instruments that are extremely sophisticated. What we don't spend as much time on is the data. And we do have data raining down from the heavens every day from all of our missions. So we have a lot of data. We have a lot of data storehouses. We have archive data that we're going to have to start. We're making decisions already. We can't keep it all. Our data centers, we're consolidating. We are moving to the cloud. We have a lot of people that are data specialists. But we don't coordinate that, and we don't have data standards. We have data standards per mission. So there's a lot of things, and talk about the analytics, until we begin to have our standards so that we can have discoverability where we know where the data is. We can't leverage all of our knowledge. The data has to move into the knowledge, which moves into the wisdom. But right now it's just knowledge for the mission. And so there are a lot of things that we're looking at is how do we, number one, even know where all of this data is? And then once we know where it is, how do we kind of harness it and through standards so that we can use the analytics? But we are looking at machine learning tools and algorithms and natural language processing, and these are the things that we are looking in our office are looking at what can we do and how can we harvest what we have in different and new ways. So challenge, great opportunity. We have always had tons of data. And so it's just a matter of how do we leverage it through the next generation and the next generation. And as technology advances, continue to leverage what we've got and connect it with new data. That's, again, the opportunity and challenge is extremely exciting and extremely challenging because things are changing so quickly.
So talk to me a little bit about those technologies that you hinted at. Where do you see advances in cloud, containerization, agile development helping you move forward with your goals in the next 18 months?
Well, agile development, that's hard for the government. So that's always a challenge. What we tend to do is we spend a lot of time building requirements. By the time we've built all the requirements, go through the procurement, the technology's already old. Looking with containerization, we really are, we have some prototypes right now that we're looking at how there are different kinds of containers with different companies. And so how can we make sure that we have agile processing of data itself? So this is the exciting work versus, the other work that we have to do in the government. But as we begin to build these containerizations, we want to be able to let our scientists and engineers and even members of the public to say we've got the container built with the right software, with the right algorithms, and we can put data in and out, in and out. And so you don't have to download all this stuff on your computer in order to process. So that's where we're working to, and we really hope we could have secure containers. So for our sensitive information, it's already secure. It's just moving data in and out to see what else we can learn from it. But for the public, it'd be awesome when we can have these containers for if they want to reproduce our publications and they want to do the algorithms themselves, they're already built in, and they can try different data. Try our data to validate our work, put different data in. We see containerization as kind of the next way to move and have data. We're not just stuck with those kind of legacy systems in the software, but we really can place them out there. And the other thing is having excess container space. We want to do a container registry as we move forward. And with the registry, what we're hoping through technology that we can say there's 10% available in this container, container X, it's already set up this way. If you're looking for research in that container, we've got space for you. And so through the registry, as we get more sophisticated with what we're doing, right now we're just doing the container prototypes to see what kinds of containers work. That's what we're hoping in the microservices moving forward. That's a data microservice that we would be able to say to our NASA employees, you know, we have places for you to do your work. So there are a lot of ways that we can leverage these awesome tools we've built and leverage on top of platforms people already have to get, it's about harvesting and increasing productivity and learning more about what we've got with the infrastructure that's there with kind of tweaks to it.
So digital transformation also depends on upgrading workforce. Can you talk to me about what needs to happen to ensure that agencies are recruiting and retaining the right talent needed as we move into the new digital world?
Upgrading workforce is an interesting way to say that. If we want to move the workforce into more of a data agile, data sophisticated workforce versus people who do the form, which is a PDF, or you know, we've got records management, which is all PDFs and documents we have to scan. We're still in that. I mean, NASA is part of the government. We've been around for a long time. We have a lot of documents that are paper. But moving into this other world where we get away from paper and more about the information collection and the information harvesting and information analytics, that we can train people, but bringing in the fresh new, the data scientists, the data fellows. Right now we're doing those through like fellowships. And so that is one way to do it because they're temporary, but embedding them as civil servants, that's just it's gonna take having the capability to have long-term spaces. And right now we don't really have that unless people retire. So as the workforce kind of turns over, we'll have more opportunities. But in the meantime, we've got Datanauts, which is our, we've got an innovation initiative, and we're bringing in 50 Datanauts every 6 months, and we're looking for women in data, and we're trying to get more women to engage with data and to have the data skills. And so we're getting beginners, intermediate, advanced, let them work together so we can, on a kind of revolving basis, bring people in to engage with us. We learn from them. I have learned so much for our Datanauts because we have advanced Datanauts who are just awesome, and they've been invited to NASA centers to go because we're seeing how awesome they are, but they're also training each other and training us. So we're trying to do on a revolving basis where we can bring people in, have engagement, learn from them, and give them experience of playing with NASA data, which is awesome. So there are different ways we can do this. I wish we had a more permanent, like, yay, we can hire 20% or 30% of the workforce, and we're not there. So in the meantime, we'll be creative with what we've got.
Great. Beth, appreciate your insight. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
For all of our Digital Transformation Hero series, check out fedscoop.com. I'm Greg Otto. Thanks for watching.